Sorry about that. Weird way to start the video, I know, but I just wanted to get those crunchy Bob Ross mints out of my mouth. So, today, well, I guess technically yesterday, because that's when I watched it, but today we are going to be reviewing a movie called The Mitchells vs. the Machines. I don't know why I was so hesitant to watch this movie. Maybe just from the preview that they showed on Netflix, it didn't look too good, but yeah, it turned out to be actually a really good animated movie. And I guess I kind of just go with what I feel like watching. Feel with. The hell was I trying to say there? Yeah, like whatever I'm in the mood for, and right now I'm kind of on like an animated movie kick, so I'm just kind of going through a bunch of animated movies on Netflix and just watching them. I know, yeah, not all animated movies are just for kids. Like, you can watch them as an adult. My God, I still go back and watch some of the ones I used to watch when I was a kid, like Madagascar, because there are jokes in there that are just for adults specifically. And obviously you'll pick up on that when you get older, going back and watching some of the animated movies you used to watch when you were a kid. You're like, wow, how'd they get away with this? Which I believe I say in almost every animated movie that I watch anyway when I do a review of it. So, but this movie kind of shocked me because it had comedy, action, and even some horror elements, which was kind of shocking. So basically, the entire premise of the movie is this dysfunctional family known as the Mitchells. The daughter, who I can kind of relate with because when nobody else seems to be there for you, movies are kind of like an escape from reality too, and she was really into movies, which is a passion of mine too, so it's kind of cool to see that in an animated movie. Or any movie really, somebody who shares the same passion as you, even if it's not, maybe necessarily real, it's just for the movie, but hey, it is what it is. But it was kind of cool to have that connection with that character anyway. So the voices, we actually had quite some big voices in this movie. So Abby Jacobson played Katie in The Dog Cop. I guess she's done voices for BoJack Horseman and Bob's Burgers as well. Also, she was in I can't remember which Lego movie, but she did a voice for one of the Lego movies. Danny McBride played Rick the Dad. Maya Rudolph played Linda. Eric Andre played Mark. Olivia Colman was the voice of PAL, the automated system, or yeah, I guess the system that was created to help you, kind of like Siri in a way, but this one was called PAL, and he ends up creating these robots that end up obviously trying to take over the entire world after the old version of PAL was basically discarded, and the new version of PAL is actually walking and talking and can go and do things for you that the old version couldn't, but it gets hacked by the older version of PAL and gets taken over completely, and all the humans are captured by these robots, and it just gets really way out of hand. Fred Armisen was the voice of DeborahBot 5000. I don't remember who that was. Chrissy Teigen was the voice of Haley Posey. John Legend was the voice of Jim Posey, and Charlene Yee was the voice of Abby Posey. And Blake Griffin was the voice of Palmax Prime. Conan O'Brien was the voice of Glaxon 5000, and that's basically it for main cast. Yeah. But yeah, it was quite an interesting movie. So she wants to go to, and by she I mean Katie wants to go to film school. Oh, who played the brother? Or was the brother Mark? Now I'm trying to think which one the brother was. The brother must have been Mark then. Oh no, Michael Renata played the brother. So what was the brother's name? Oh, I guess Aaron. Okay. There we go. There's no picture for him though, so that's kind of weird that he doesn't have his own photo. Anyway, not really important. So she's trying to go off to film school. She pours her heart into these YouTube short like movies that she makes. Most of them with her dog, and I guess she kind of obviously draws inspiration from her real life. She feels like her dad doesn't really pay that much attention to her, or kind of, really back up her dreams. He kind of thinks that she should have a backup plan. But as the movie goes along, you find out what he gave up when he had her. Because I believe, yeah, she's obviously the older child if she's going off to film school, because that would be college, right? I believe. So he gave up the house that he had built with his own two hands because I guess ever since he was younger, he wanted to just live out in the woods. But obviously, due to having kids, that wouldn't be maybe the most viable option, so they had to move into the city, into this, I guess, kind of like suburban area, you could say. And he's always kind of been his own person, not really paying attention to what she does, and he just kind of, at the dinner table one night, says to her, I don't really know. Do you think that this is going to get you a career? And I mean, obviously it would, but as the movie goes along, they kind of start to bond with one another again, like she did when she was younger. And then she says something silly, and this was after the robots take over. She says that she was just wanting, or saying what he wanted to hear, just so that she could, move on and get out of there and go back to her film school because she really wanted to just be hanging out with her new friends that she had met online. And then that backfires on her because obviously the robot posts that all over, and the dad kind of just gives up, and they get captured, and then it ends up just being up to Katie and Aaron to save the day. And the robots kind of malfunction due to seeing a dog, because I guess the pug's so weird looking in this movie that they just don't know what it actually is. Which is actually absolutely hilarious that was the way they were able to defeat the robots, was by killing all the robots with a dog strapped at the front of the car and throwing the phone into a glass of water. That was just, it was just absolutely hilarious. And the mom, when the son gets captured, Linda goes absolutely like ballistic near the end of the movie, and just her motherly instincts just kick in, and she starts killing all the other robots that the original PAL system had created. It was just like, wow, like yeah, this movie had just everything in it. So I don't know what else I can say. Obviously, they were trying to compete. Well, Linda was trying to compete a little bit with the other family who was on vacation, and I thought that was kind of funny. Because she thought they were such a perfect family, and it ends up just being kind of a mixed match family. Ended up being what was the better thing in the end, as opposed to being in complete unison with one another, because it turns out the other family just gets captured anyway, and they don't know how to escape until the Mitchells are able to save them. And two of the machines that malfunction team up with them for a little while, but then obviously they get reprogrammed when they get back to the main base. I believe it was in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken, where the main PAL Industries was. I think I'm saying that correctly. Anyhow, yeah, I think that's basically all I can say. The Mitchells do save the day, and she goes off to school, and they kind of say their goodbyes, and that was the movie. I think they go on some sort of other adventure too at the end, so maybe that'll open up for a sequel. I'd actually like to see a sequel to this movie. I think that would be cool. So for my rating, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. I think it really does deserve that. As far as animated movies go, this one, the animation was absolutely fantastic in it, and they did use some like real life like memes and stuff in the movie, so that was kind of interesting to see. And they used, what was the the other thing I wanted to touch on was the soundtrack. Really awesome soundtrack. And they kind of like made their own movie even within the movie, because she's a film student, right, and she really has that like creative mind. So it was kind of cool to see like an animated movie within an animated movie. It was kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now. But it was cool. It was cool. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, so I gave this movie a 9 out of 10. And I think that's it for this review. I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.